honor to be here and enjoy the time with you. All the new generation of vitreoretinal surgeon, right? Who is practiced more than 5 years already? Could you please raise your hand? So all of you is less than okay, no, not a speaker. Okay, so I have no financial interest, but actually most of the time I use product of Alcon. So today I will talk about tip and trick, and also my tricky trick in the vitreoretina. Actually, we all want to be happy, and happiness is depend on quality of your thought. And actually, happiness and freedom begin with clear understanding of one principle, that something within your control and something you cannot. And the successful factor for doing vitrectomy is you understand your patient, you understand yourself, and you understand the machine. To clearly understand, now we ask Google, right? In your generation, you don't ask even your staff anymore. You ask Google first. And actually, I asked vitrectomy pearls. Okay. The Google is an AI, artificial intelligence. At first, it's intelligence, then it's learning, and now it's deep learning. It's very dangerous because it's deep learning and we don't know what is learned. Can we believe it or not? And like I asked them, vitrectomy pearls, I not put the S in, but it said me a lot, right? And I choose two for you, that this is your homework from the Retina Today and Retinal Physician. You can search and you can read by yourself, and this article is for retinal fellow. If you're a fellow, it's match for you. Even it's like 4 years already, 3 or 4 years already. And the other is sharing surgical pearls from 6 surgeons, different experience, and they give like 3 pearls per each doctor. It's very interesting to read. And when I search pearl in the Retina Today, I can go to many things, many pearls, and also there's a beautiful videos and also a 3D video. Okay. And you can download it. And if you buy something fancy, you can see the 3D movie at home. And you can enjoy. Who's in the teaching institute? KSA, you know that, right? Which one is the most important? Knowledge, yes. I think so. Some is KSA. Maybe the lecture can give you a lot of knowledge. But here in this 3 days, the most important is tomorrow. It's a skill and you can share it. That's why we are here. If you want to enjoy only lecture, you can stay home, right? So the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. It's advertised commercial thing different from Apple. And Steve Jobs, with his attitude, changed the world. And he said, stay hungry. I hope that we will eat the lunch soon. And stay foolish. I'm not sure that, but I still think that I'm foolish and I'm crazy, and I like that. One day we're gonna die like him, Steve Jobs. And actually we have one Steve in our community, Steve Charles. Who didn't know Steve Charles? Who knows Steve Charles? So who knows Steve Charles? Raise up your hand. Oh, that's good that I prepared this. Okay. It's almost 20 years ago when I'm fellow at UCSD, and I read his article, his chapter, Principle and Technique of Vitreous Surgery. And can you see that underneath? One day he's a visiting professor, come to the UCSD Charlie Eye Center Institute, and I'm very fond of him. I bring my textbook and I ask for his autograph. Could you please sign for me? You are my hero. He signed, Steve Charles. And you are the greatest. And that's why I'm the greatest. Believe me, you are the greatest. That's changed my life. There's many articles about him, and this is the one he even five words to describe himself: learning, working, improving, caring, and human. That's very touching. And this year, I want to treat you because he's my hero, and he got an Academy Single or highest honor AO 2018 Laureate Award. So you are the greatest, huh? And he is the vitreoretinal inventor. I read the Retina since 3rd edition, and at that time it's still accurate, and now we have Constellation, and actually now you have a 6th edition already. It's almost 20 years. It's an e-book. You can search and take everywhere with you, right? Steve Charles is still Steve Charles. Let's see what is. The abstract is understanding principle, technique, technology is critical to provide optimal outcome. And conclusion, conservative indication. Interesting. Aggressive use of the best technique and technology and careful follow-up are required for surgeons for optimal results in our surgery. So there's many things. Very nice picture that you can see in some talk. Talk first about anatomy, mechanic, infusion, cutter, and fluidic. Then to how to control the microscope, tools, ergonomic, surgical step. Then how to manage the each pathology and the technique. Please study. This is my surgical studying. Okay, let's go to that article. If you not read, he is one of the guy who gives the pearls. Pearl number 7, mastered and performed ILM peeling for broad range of indication and use grafting forceps for this procedure. Use conformal cutter delamination for thick, rigid ERM and curve rather than vertical scissors, and master interface vitrectomy, like vitrectomy under air or the other, or silicone or PFCF. As I think that maybe he just want me to understand that, to believe in myself, and I should be the greatest for the patient that I operate, because I'm the one who operates. And Stephen Hawking, he said that there should be no boundary to human endeavor. We are all different. However bad life may seem, there will always something you can do and succeed at. Why there's life, there's hope. Anyway, this is come together, right? Risk and benefit. Every time that we make decision, you can be optimist and pessimist, and you can be contribute. Optimist can invent many things, and pessimist maybe find time to protect that. So you may heard about head-up microscope, right? 3D, because Steve Charles said on at the AO 2015, and Carl said be on the side of the pro. And 3 years later, Steve Jobs says, bro. And changing your opinion, but keep your principle. Change your leaf, but keep intact root. He's an inventor, so he's gonna accept a new thing, and ideas always change. That's why when you read the book, it's already in the past idea. But if you read or listen to the expert opinion, you may get a new thing, but maybe it's not solid. So we need to respond to change, and the audience response is not respond at 2015. Steve Jobs is calm, is big guy. The wind of change is coming. Everything we hear is opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is perspective, not the truth. So what you think that this year the audience will respond? Who said raw? Who said con? Who think that con more than 50%? Raise your hand. Okay, no response. This audience. That audience has respond. Con for 77%. When the roots are deep, there's no reason to fear the wind. But don't grow your root in us to secure yourself and don't move to anywhere. Because winter is coming. Sometimes you need to walk alone and lead some guys or your team. You laughing? You watch it? You have time to watch Game of Thrones? No. You don't work hard enough. So when off change come, what should we do? If you are pessimist, you always complain about the wind. If you are optimist, you may expect the wind to change. But if you are realist, you need to adjust yourself. So you watch Star Wars, right? Because you watch Game of Thrones. Master Yoda said that no, try not. Do or do not, there's no try. จริงๆแล้ว actually after we finish training, you have to do or do not. It's no try, it's like you go and you go. But maybe you can find some coach, and actually like this training, you may try you may build some skill first, or just do it, right? So Pawan Yugal, he gave a surgical pearl, more concerned about make sure you do that thing for the patient. And this is very important. Make sure that you treat the patient and you do that thing the best that you can. If you believe in some innovation, maybe you may have to make a decision. And this is a good one. Never use the hand rest as a hand rest. Why? You know? Because patient under the LA can move, and when they move, and if you practice that, you know that the head is moved and your hand is adjust with the head of the patient. And always ensure that you have good visualization to see that. And yes, life begins at 40. We are old and wise and also has a presbyopia. Who has presbyopia already? No, you are so young. So this is trip and trick from 3D head-up surgery. Actually, the 3D head-up is misnamed because you have a head-up and tilt. It's not only head-up. And 3D 4K screen. And actually, if you adjust your camera, your microscope, you don't have to head up. You can head up, don't have to tilt head. So the good thing is to the trainer and trainee, you see the same view. You see the same magnification. It's not just adjust. And you see the same image, the exact same image as the staff said, as the staff showed. And high magnification and enhanced depth of field. decrease accommodation. This is what I like most. I don't have to accommodate. So let's say I do the 3D PPE in poor will patient. This is RRT with PVR, 2-month post-vehicle rupture, and arousing sulcus, corneal edema, descemet tear, and descemet foam more than half of the eyes. And 3D light adjust, it can enhance. I do cornea scraping, and the view is getting better. There's some like application that can adjust like HDR mode when we use the iPhone. You take the picture and suddenly you're younger than the real, something like that. So I want to show you that you can peel under PFCL with a high magnification, but it needs a skillful. Yes, and in the afternoon, the complication case, I will show you that the endoscopic. We can do endoscopic with 2 dimensions, right? We can peel the membrane with 2 dimensions, but this is 3 dimensions, but we can see it better. And you look at the peripheral part, you can see the dimple of the perfluorocarbon liquid. It's so nice. You can enhance it. And actually, it's like when we do, even when you use microscope, it's like when you take the photo by your phone. You take a photo, the photo is not clear, but when you can zoom in by digital zoom, I think actually our brain has a digital zoom in our brain. You may see things larger than you think. This is the other example of the poor view. If you have a poor view, you should think about the visual axis. It's maybe something not clear, like you can scrape the cornea and the view is much better. Something like that. So like I said, that if you have 3D system, try is good for some, and you need a system setting, that good system setting, and you need a clear optical pathway, and you need a brain train, because someone can, like my wife cannot see the 3D movie. She's got a headache. So that's what I'm trying to inspire you, that the new thing is coming. My trick to do things is actually, what it is, 10 talk is not equal 1 observe. 10 observe is not equal 1 touch. 10 touch is not equal 1 do. And 10 do is not equal 1 good critical thinking. And good critical thinking is not compared to bad experience. And all of this gives you a wisdom. So actually, 1,000,000 talks can give you 1 wisdom. Or you touch like 10,000 times, or 10,000 doing maybe. And very interesting, there's one bestseller book, Outlier from Malcolm Gladwell, is a big name. A 10,000 hours rule. Hard work really does matter. In fact, it is absolutely necessary. Many outliers went to a period of intense, passionate, and often punishing work that often has no certain reward, like me. Gladwell have a rough calculation imply that at 10,000 hours of labor in US, usually at a young age, not now, is the minimum need for outlier success. You can search in the Google, you can find many things interesting. like this. Gilbert. Study show it take 10 hours, 10,000 hours of practice to be a great at anything. I would think a willingness to practice the same thing for 10,000 hours is a mental disorder. And I think that your generation is like this. You cannot bear doing something. But because of learning process in the past is very struggle. I need to sit by the professor. If there's good chance that room have a side tube, and if I have a side tube, make sure that I see the same thing as a professor. That's not easy. And one side never fit all. One side fit one. You need to find something that fit yourself. And that's very important that you have to track yourself, record yourself. Critical thinking about what are you doing and what you are going, where you are going. And actually my fellow, he's already do 3D surgery and membrane peeling under 3D. So tomorrow I ask Alcon to give us a chance to use a 3D workshop. Are you happy? Yes. Good. Okay. So how's about our small gauge? Does size matter? From 20 to 25, then back to 23, then 23 past 25, and now 27. Is smaller is better? Less risk? More efficient? The con is the cost, the learning curve, less efficient, decreased flow by Poisson's law, and slower core vitrectomy. Decreased stiffness of instrument can be bent. But ProSight is less invasive, less leak, more efficient. 25 and 27 is popular very much in Japan, but not in US. The study showed that sphere of influence means that the port size, the vacuum of flow and duty cycle divided by cut rate is less in the smaller gauge. So the tissue will have influence less in the smaller gauge. And actually we can adjust the port to be a bias open, like duty cycle, bias open or bias closed. And that's effect to the tissue. Like if you have a bias open, you will remove tissue faster than a bias closed or shave more. But in a high velocity, the shaving mode after 50 is not different between the cutting rate. The more cutting rate, the less effect of the duty cycle. So at more than 7,500, the graph is the same. So this is the video show how to put the port in. This space the conch. It's easy. Goes in, can be one step, or you can do a little bit two step. And this is nice because there is a valve, so there is no leakage. And yeah. And out. We saw, he said that maybe the bending of the instrument is because of the torque between two hands. Move. If you put the detector one side and the light in the other side, when you move, maybe the force that happen to the instrument is less and it can cause and it can help the port the instrument. So this is my first 27 gauge and I adopt that technique. Wake up. Before that, I do 2 steps like, but you can make only 1 step, and the tunnel is going more straight and longer. It's so small, and this is not the 10,000 now. Now we have 27 gauge 10,000 with the new tip. I recommend this movie, if you like to see movie, Whiplash. It will hit your heart, and if you have yeah, it's very inspiring. Okay, so now I use totally 25 gauge and 27 in some macular surgery. In 2015, subspecialty day debate in AO meeting, 70% still con, and ASCRS, American Society of Renal Specialists, said that about 34% use 27 case, at least 1/3 of the surgical case. Very interesting. But 3 years later, the use rate is dropped because I think that the instrument is easy to bend and the surgeon need to develop the skill and the remove vitreous speed of remove vitreous is less, and this is what I want to show you, that the technology adoption curve. Actually, everything is like bell-shaped curve, and the innovator or the early adopter is about 15%. If some innovation is used more than 90%, it has a chance to go forward. Even 30% of the community adopt this technology, there's a lot of chance to move forward. So I think that you should consider, and I think tomorrow they will have something for us to try. And there's many articles come out, the rate of hypotony is less, there's many instruments come out, and also the fitness loop that may help the one who don't have much skill or experience to start the flap before the membrane peeling. And the tip is bevel tip. This is a new design. You can go to the near to the retina more. And actually, if you see the graph for 10,000 cut per minute, the flow is much better than before. Increase for almost 1/5, 20%. So start and step up, collect your money. Shift from 23 to 25 and 25 maybe to 27 in a macular case. And this is a tricky trick. I use biome in every case, and if you setting biome good, you can use it for the macular surgery. I use TA because it's cheaper, but if you have some dye standard, we will talk about it later. This is, even it's bend, you can bend it back, and you can use it also. With a smaller gauge, I can drain the fluid through the hole without enlarge the hole. What is it? The soft tip is float. Because of the design, you need to beware when you put the this extrusion through the cannula valve, and you need to use an ILM process because it's wide the grabs, so I can remove it out and do the drain. I know that you may question, but and this you can inject the silicone oil to the 27 gauge by use a 24 cannula. This is my technique. It's easy to do. Okay, so start is simple, not complicated, and beware of the tip because this can cause you a tricky surgery. So we should integrate new innovation to our surgery to better and less fall. But to be fastest and flawless, it's in your hand. And like you said, the understand machine is very important. So this is Poisson's law, and it's about inflow and outflow. The Mitre substitute that already talk about it. If you balance the IOP, inflow and outflow, if it match, the fluid is stable. If it mismatch, it can be low or high pressure. And the low pressure can cause globe collapse, hemorrhage, and retraction. And high pressure can cause corneal edema, hypertension, glaucoma, and ischemia. So it's important to understand that the pressure drop is depend on the flow and the radius of the pipe. And we have inflow by gravity-fed infusion and pressurized infusion. Gravity-fed infusion is like you raise the bottle height, and normally the pressure height from centimeter water to millimeter mercury is about 2/3. You can convert by the height of the pressure from the gravity from centimeter of the height of the bottle to adjust the pressure inside the eye. And the flow rate is related to the length of the tubing and the viscosity and the radius of the tube. So if the small decrease in radius may cause a large drop in the flow rate. Right? Fourth, power 4 is 60 times, right? Maintain flow rate at 20 gauge. Similar to 20 gauge, you may raise the vacuum 5 times in 23 gauge and 10 times in 25 gauge. And or yes, if you change the diameter. So the new pressurized infusion is the vented gas force infusion. They pump the gas inside the bottle, and then so there's a sensor that you can control the pressure inside the eyes, and it's measured in a real time with a set IOP. But you need to, it's very important that the patient level is very important to be in the same placed as a cassette. If the patient eye is below the cassette connector, the IOP is increased almost 2 millimeter mercury per inch. Yes. And when you remove plug, beware of the fountain effect. But if you have a valve port or limit inflow, the pressure control, you can decrease the chance of the fountain effect. Also, you need to make sure that there is no air inside the infusion because it can block because the pressure change of the air. And if it mismatch, you may be concerned when you have when you do Doppler nucleus and you open 20 gauge port for the phragmatome because the flow rate is more than 25 gauge infusion. And the infusion pressure need to be adjusted to higher level when you do a fragment because the flow outflow is larger than more than inflow. So the fluid pump system, instrument gauge, cutting frequency, duty cycle, and vitreous cutting mode is very important to the outflow. The vitrectomy now has a two system, is a peristaltic pump and Venturi pump. The comparison between pump, the peristaltic is based on flow, but Venturi is based on vacuum, and vacuum is generated out after the occlude at the tip for the peristalsis, and the Venturi is direct generated by pump. Yes, and as shown. So many the different company made a different instrument and technique, and most of the time they use a Venturi pump because it's, the flow rate is better and you can control it better. So both system is, if you use high cut rate, the viscosity is effectively reduced and the flow is smooth, and different pump mechanism is different effect on flow fluctuation if you use high cut rate. So the instrument is now developed to the smaller with a higher cut rate. That's so with the technology that we increase the cut rate, as the port-based flow limit is different from before, and the aspiration gauge size, the narrow gauge is a higher resistance. The port size, larger port has a higher flow, and cut rate is related to the duty cycle, and cutter duty cycle is the amount of time that port stay open at each cycle like this. And if you have a highest lower speed cut, if you increase the cut per minute, the flow is increased, and decrease the retinal traction. And if you want to remove the dense material or ERM, you need a low frequency because you need a big bite. So it's depend on the duty cycle. If the port close more than open, the aspiration is decreased and the flow rate is decreased. If open is more than close, the aspiration is increased and flow rate is increased. But in the, as I told you, in the higher cut, the duty cycle is less effect. So major of the guillotine has three types. Guillotine that has an electric cutter or pneumatic cutter or dual pneumatic cutter. But now we have a new coming. You ever heard about hypersonic vitrectomy? It's use a liquefaction. The hypersonic vitrectomy has use a low amplitude hypersonic motion. The handpiece, needle tip, use a mechanical cutting action, not a blade. Is move about 1.7 million cut per minute and oscillate high speed fluid flow. It can fragment and liquefy vitreous. And this is what it looks like. It's a piezoelectric transducer element within the port. And it can adjust the flow depend on vacuum infusion pressure, and it can adjust the stroke from 0 to 60 micron. And this is a movie. I never tried this, just some touch in the AAO, but not in the and not for the patient. So there's many room to improve, and there's a video showing the this is from the company, Cellalis. Oops. Seems slow, look like nothing move, and even and actually from the meeting is not commercial available yet, and it's long way to go. But it's a nice idea, nice try, not to cut, but to try to melt it and suck it out. So actually, life is a journey, not a destination, and life is a journey, not a journal. You cannot read journal and do surgery. You need to try. Some men see things as they are and ask why, other dream things that never were and ask why not. So maybe you try tomorrow. Progression is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their mind cannot change anything. So actually we came from different part of the world. We may think global, but we need to act local. And I hopefully that this is the father of modern medicine of Thailand. He said that true success is not in the learning, but in its application for the benefit of mankind. We inspired by the previous, we motivated by the idea and idealized thing. We have new innovation come out. We more connect, internationalize. We try to integrate things. We improve the indication for the patient, and we use it as an individual life for each of us. Thank you.
Let me ask some questions. I have never heard about the hypersonic vitrectomy, and I know that you have never tried it before, but I want to ask about the reconstruction things. When the vitrectomy probe that approached near the retina, do you think it's gonna melt the retina too?
Yes, it's kind of heat, and because there's a debate about the stroke that moving 0 to 60 micron. 60 micron is quite a big number, huh? Right? And they have to adjust, and also they try to design the port that where is the port should be close or near, on how it's moved. The port is maybe steel, or there's a new design coming out that they show in the last meeting. Long way to go, I think, and it's gonna be very expensive handpiece now because that's quite so electric. And actually, our medical society, everything, the treatment is moved by the marketing also, right? You need to concern about that. Any more questions? I think tomorrow, when we go to do this wet lab, we can discuss about the technique and when you see the 3D, you can see the higher magnification and how I approach the membrane peeling things better than the 2D things. Any more questions?
Very nice talk, sir. Sir, after fluid exchange in already cases with hazy cornea, so the view gets more poorer. So any tip to, I know that adjusting the microscope will help me in that, but any other tip to?
Viscoelastic.
Okay.
Yes, you can put viscoelastic. Even that, in that case, that very severe cornea, even cornea descent, I put a viscoelastic in the anterior chamber. It's much more clear.
In the anterior chamber?
Yeah, feel the anterior chamber. It changed the molecular curve of the endothelium, and the endothelial function is getting better. And sometimes the view is clearer without scraping. I don't like to scrape, and beware. Ask the patient that they need the LASIK before now. Make sure. That's very scary video. Retina. Kurt Pickle, right? The big name. He's come in the operating room and scrape the LASIK flap. But luckily, oops, it seems too good. He put it back. So keep collect your 10,000 hours. Actually, about 5 years, I asked my colleagues. I'm in the 20 gauge era, so as I told you, the training is very difficult and many complication things because we cannot control flow very well. The wound can be leaked, and we don't have anti-VEGF. The bleeding is hard to control. But actually, you need to do at least like by yourself. I mean, you go to you out of training at least 3 years to be confident, according to my colleagues and my friends. So keep slow. Don't move too fast. Use high cut. Keep slow move, but use high cut. Highest cut as possible. Okay.